be here.
Thanks, Bob Brown.
My pleasure.
Mr. Pontiac. How you doing? Thanks for coming out.
Right.
Long time no see.
Absolutely. Too long.
So we're gonna do putting for our first lesson. Okay. We'll talk about the fundamentals. We'll work with everybody individually, and if you have any special questions or requests, just let me know. First of all, with the grip. So with the putting grip, you're gonna want it more through the center of your hand. Okay. And we do that to take our wrists out of our putting stroke to be more consistent. So what that looks like when we grip it is we want it to be down the center of our hand right here.
On the back side of it? Or on the side of it?
From your pointer finger, yeah, right, just like that.
Okay.
Yep, and again, we do that, so if we hold it in our fingers like we do with our pitch shot, we're going to be using more wrists. And the reason I like to work on chipping right after putting is very similar. The definition of a chip is it rolls out, so basically it spends more time on the ground than it does in the air. That's the definition of a chip. So, as a golfer, I believe in putting when you can, chipping when you can't putt, and pitch when you absolutely cannot chip. Okay? Because pitching has a more difficult percentage of getting it close. So for me, the goal with chipping is to get it as close as I can, so I have an easy putt. Whenever I'm chipping, I'm always trying to snuggle it in there so I have a very easy putt. Okay? Chipping, do a lot of you use your 8-iron around the greens? You don't?
It's not lofted enough usually for me. I don't like the
Okay.
stay with pitching way.
Today we're going to do something a little different with pitching. Okay? And for some of you might hear I say the same things for our pitching as we talked about for chipping. A lot of the fundamentals build upon each other as we progress through the lesson series here. But pitching, our grip is going to be a little different. As you remember with our putting and our chipping, it was more through your center of your palm. Okay? And the reason we do that was to take the wrists out, so we have quiet, passive wrists. Now with our pitching, we do have to have a little more of wrist movement. So we will actually have more of our full swing grip, where for our full swing grip, the shaft's going to be more up your hand. Or, I'm sorry, not up your hand, up your fingers. Okay? So almost as if you're grabbing it like you would a bucket of water. Okay, so a bucket of water you wouldn't grab like this, you would grab it with your fingers. Okay? So that's how I grab it through the grass. Okay? Usually the higher lofted wedges that you have are going to have a little more bounce, which also is designed to get through this tough grass that we have. Okay? So when you have this situation where you're pitching, where your ball is settled down in, which we've all had, right? Settled down in there, that nice bounce that you have on your wedges is going to get through that grass, okay? Especially when you're trying to pitch it further, which we'll do now. Okay, so when we're pitching it a little bit further, make sure your ball position is located still in the center of your stance. If it's a better lie, you can certainly move it forward a ball width. Okay, moving it forward will give you a little bit higher loft. Okay, when you move it forward. But if you're really worried about the contact, leave it in the middle or even move it back a little bit. Moving it back is going to create a steeper angle of a this is a refresher basically. So the biggest thing to remember is that we need to make sure we're standing correctly. So it's not so much swing issues for a lot of players, it's more making sure that you're addressing the ball correctly. So our stance is going to be open. So my feet are going to be more down that line to the left of the target. Okay? Because we're swinging, as Mr. Pontiac does, we're swinging more, we're picking the club up basically and brushing through the sand. Okay? We want to make sure that we're hitting that sand. If we stand square, okay, the loft of the club is most likely going to go way far right. So that's why we aim more left. Okay? And then with basically the fundamentals for me for the sand is you want to make sure you're hitting, as Bill said, right behind the ball, about a ball width. Last couple lessons we worked on putting, chipping, pitching, and bunker play. Today we're going to work on irons. You'll hear me talk about a lot of the similar things that we worked on with the other clubs. Aim, grip, those are all pre-swing fundamentals that we want to make sure that we have correct before we even swing. So for the grip for our full swing, it's going to be similar to our pitching grip, more in line with our fingers. Okay, so with putting it was more through the palm. full swing grip is in our fingers. Okay, and we do that so we can achieve a nice wrist hinge. Okay, to help us add another lever in our swing. Okay, hit a little further. So I'll check everybody's grip real quick. Feel that's more in the fingers.
Can't blame it on the grip.
Good. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so I like that a lot of you have the thumbs running down the shaft for your left hand, running down the shaft.
Yeah.
So that helps you have more of a neutral grip. Now,
What can you say about some I've read, seen on DVDs or whatever, a short thumb or a long thumb? I mean, do you know anything about that? Stretching it out or?
you know, when you do the longer thumb,
Yeah.
it's for me it causes a little more tension. It's personal for you. I prefer just letting it rest.
Whatever's comfortable.
However it lies is
Yeah.
how I
Okay.
keep my thumb.
Okay.
Longer thumb, if you experiment with that, you can notice that your forearm kind of gets
Tightens
more
up.
tense and
Yeah.
tightens up.
See it, yeah.
So for a player that perhaps maybe has too much movement with his forearm, that might be good. But we'll look at that individually today and see if that might be something that you might want to experiment with. Okay? For drivers and fairway woods, as well as any other questions you might have in regards to course management, when should I hit the driver, when should I not hit the driver, maybe I should hit my fairway wood here, things like that. So any questions you guys have, please let me know. When talking about the driver, I think it's so key to talk about your free swing, where your ball position is, and as well as your spine tilt. A lot of players don't add the spine tilt, which is a pre-swing fundamental for our driver, because our drivers are so long. Most of them are 46 inches long. So we need to add a little bit more spine tilt to help get that golf ball up in the air. And I'll adjust that with everybody individually to get you to feel that. Some of you might already do that naturally. Okay? Grip is the same as our full swing, more throughout our fingers. Okay? And as always, nice light grip pressure, gripping it like we would. Always nice light grip pressure, gripping it like we would our glass of iced tea. Okay? Never. A lot of people, when they get the driver, they try to grip it really hard, really tight to try to hit it straighter. Well, when you do that, you might hit it straighter, but it won't go very far. Okay? So I'll work with each of you individually, and if you have any questions about course management, aim is going to be the same as